welcome everybody to a new Ink Panels graphic novel book club. If you feel lost because you're not seeing a bunch of people that are normally here, you aren't wrong. I had a weird occurrence that all my co-hosts called out for various different reasons. They will be missed, but we have a really good panel of first-time guests and people I've interacted with for a while. We're going to start from the not-so-cold north. From Toronto, we have Anika, the tormentor of Sheena and others. Hi, Sheena.
Sheena. Yeah, hi, Sheena. I'll be nice today.
You can mostly find her on Instagram under Fresh Princess. I totally slacked and I forgot to add everybody's info except for Azor's because he was the earliest person that confirmed. I will add them after the show because I suck. Joining us also, we have Azor's Tiger, Eric. I've interacted with you for a while. I know you're a huge Rodney Barnes stan. It's much like myself. You also have a seller page. It's Azor Tiger Sales?
Yes. So Azor's Tiger Comics. But either one. So all over social media.
And joining us from the N Pod, a longtime person I've interacted with between Twitter, Instagram, and another Rodney Barnes fan who found us for the first time we had him on the show, and that'll be Tara. Pleasure meeting you.
Hi, everybody.
Finally.
Good to meet you too.
So this was my pick this month. For those who don't know, I love horror, and Rodney is a great horror writer, and Killadelphia was probably one of my favorite books of the last 3 years. It kind of changed up the game for the vampire genre, which I'd say is pretty stale, other than 30 Days a Night. It's hard to get true innovation for the vampire genre, and I thought this did a great job. And I like the fact that you can have not read Killadelphia and still be able to follow this book.
Yeah.
And when I had Rodney on the last time talking to Jen and John's Comics with Kids, he mentioned that how the patriarchy is so strong in Killadelphia that he wanted a book with a female protagonist where the patriarchy isn't as strong. And I do love the forward thought. I am going to, for Jen, call him out that he one time on the show said that he doesn't get political. He really wires it in pretty close where if you're paying attention, you'll see it. Jason Shawn Alexander on this is the art director on it, and he does the great Saturday Evening Post homage covers for the beat covers on these. Mm-hmm. And he found a great job of finding artists that can imitate his art. Welby, Szymon Kudranski, and Patric Reynolds all can do a fairly good, I wouldn't say imitation, but the art style is close enough that you would almost think it's Jason, except for the colors are just a little different. He's got a heavier hand on the inks. Anika, since this is your first time reading, let's start with you.
Okay, so going into this, I was excited because I had only read the first volume of Killadelphia. So I really liked, as you said, how this was a female lead. So I was already drawn in at that point. And I loved it. I loved the whole series, the whole volume 1 of this.
I kind of also, it's got a Sixth Sense vibe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so with the kid, Jason. And also, anytime Anansi shows up, he's just such an awesome character. Yeah. And I can tell Rodney loves writing him. Also, the fact that I got a feeling when that series takes off, Orlando Jones is going to be playing Anansi.
Oh, better be.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Azor's, your thoughts going in? I know you're a longtime fan, so going into this was old hand probably.
Yeah, but I actually started trade waiting because I enjoy reading the trades all together with Killadelphia after the first couple of books. It just flowed so much better, and then I didn't have to wait for the next one. So with this one, I actually trade weighted, and I'm kind of glad I did it because I didn't know what to expect. And it was awesome. Like you said, a lot of Sixth Sense vibe, a lot of crossover. So if you were familiar with Killadelphia, you'd recognize some characters, name drops, or even some characters. And just like you're saying, I can't wait for the Anansi series.
Yeah. Even because I know Rodney was pretty deep last time we had him on casting for Killadelphia. They were looking for their Joes. He said they had somebody already lined up to be playing James Sr., which I have an idea of who it should be, and it should be the captain from The Wire. I'm blanking.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I know exactly.
I can see that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can see that too. I can't think of his name, of course, but I'm
Lance
looking
Reddick.
at him in my mind. Thank you,
Lance
Lance
Reddick.
Reddick. That's it.
Tara, you go on.
Well, I have the same kind of feeling. I've really enjoyed the whole thing. I definitely was hungry for the female protagonist to be leading the book. I like Nita a lot, especially having been an adjunct and almost working at Morgan State at one point too, because I'm in Delaware, so this is not very far from me at all. So I'm right between Killadelphia and Baltimore. So I feel like I'm repeating both of you, but the same way through. I had more vibes from prose and TV shows than I did from other comic books, to be honest. Like I had a few moments of thinking, this could be the background of We Own This City, that was just on, and which is sort of works as if it's a coda for The Wire, even though it's not officially.
Same person.
Yeah, and of course I enjoy my horror this way in books with fewer jump scares, because that's the kind of girl I am, or kind of person I am. I guess it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy, but I just don't like jump scares very much. But yeah,
they're annoying.
I'm just a little hyper vigilant, so I could do without the jump scares. But I like the suspense, so I definitely enjoyed this, and all the stuff about how can I put it? There was a little flavor of coming of age, some of the elements of coming of age stories, how like making peace with her life as it really was, as opposed to how she wanted it to go. All that kind of stuff hit close to home too, I think.
Survivor guilt was very strong in this.
Yes, huge. And living with trauma, all that kind of stuff. So
Rodney's blowing up my Twitter right now. He's posting it. Thank you, Rodney. I know you're not watching, but I love how. No, like jump scares. Like I feel it's cheap. It's cheap as fuck. Like I can't help it. Like I hate it, especially some horror movies where they just do them to do them. Looking at you, The Conjuring.
Yeah, can't do it.
I needed to say this for Jen because Jen was really hammering on this. The Fire Next Time was the name of a James Baldwin novel, who is a Black queer author.
From the Harlem
So
Renaissance.
she wanted to make sure that got out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And again, there's stuff. So one of my favorite pages in this, and it sets the book up so well. Let me just. That Cthulhu-like creature, and that's the third page. And I love how they set it up. Donita, I think the thing that makes her so appealing is that there's a vulnerability to her. She's strong as fuck, strong-willed, but there's a vulnerability that I think people can gravitate to because she's not like over the top strong. Like there's a heartbreak to her as we learn about her family. Anika, what did you think of the characters introduced in this?
So I feel like Nita is very relatable as a woman, and I know he's a very like minimal character, like you only see him once, but that guy, what was his name? Taquan, he seemed sketchy from the beginning. From the time I saw him, I'm like, your face, you look sketchy.
Yeah,
You know,
he
you
really
look
did steal that
sus.
scene.
Where she's like, if I had more seniority, I would have whooped his ass.
Yeah,
Yes.
been upside his head if I had tenure. Yes, and I have been there. And it's true.
And then poor Nita, like trauma. That girl has trauma. She needs like therapy.
A lot.
And instead she has her blog. Let's see.
We all have those. It was called Live Journal during the 90s.
Right?
I'm more of a Tumblr girl. That's my age range.
That's your rabbit hole.
Yes. And then as you guys mentioned earlier, Anansi, he was a great character. And I like how they used him because he's both used in African and Caribbean folklore. So I liked that, bringing that into like the North American aspect. Those are my favorites.
I also like how, like, weirdly he goes, listen, I am the god of stories. I don't like this trickster shit. Like, and then talking about, like, someone puking blood up on his J's.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
not happy.
How angry he gets. And everybody can relate to that.
Totally.
Sneakerhead.
Yeah, like, even though, like, you have nice shoes. Okay, so, like, really horrible story. I went on a blind date with a girl, and we went and had really hot Indian food. We had curry, and it was not agreeing with my stomach.
Oh no.
We're walking out.
Martin.
She smacked me in the stomach. I threw up on her shoes. Like, straight up threw up. And she's yelling at me. I was like, I told you I didn't feel good. Like, why would you do that? Suffice to say, there was no second date. Big surprise. But, like, straight up, right on her shoes.
The question
Oh
though,
my
what
God.
color were her
Open toe.
shoes?
Yeah,
Oh.
right.
Red. They're red
Oh,
open
geez.
toes. So, like,
Oh.
not a proud moment of mine.
No.
Oh, no.
There's a vulnerability that I have no fucks giving about it.
Oh my
That's
gosh. That is rough.
Yeah,
We still
like,
love you.
she doesn't. Oh. What were your favorite characters going into this, and like your kind of take on some of the characters and their introductions?
So definitely Nita. Like you said, super strong, and with the vulnerability, so we were able to really like delve into her past and see why she was the way she is. You know, with that panel you showed at the the start of the book, was the artwork is so awesome. And
Yes.
but it showed how no fear, she's walking through the alleyways and ready for whatever. But I was very surprised with the Jimmy Sangster character.
Yes.
I didn't expect it to play out the way it did on various panels, and from the start, we knew that he wasn't playing around, right? As far as, and I was actually scared for Nita. It's like, how is she gonna go up against this character? You know.
Hey, John.
And then one more character that surprised me in the book was the detective. I can't remember
Harden.
Harden.
Yes.
The perfect name. Harden.
Yes, the
Yeah.
detective. I couldn't remember her name, but I didn't think she was going to be on board. But she was kind of forced to, right?
She got to that breaking point of like, oh fuck, I don't know what this is. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call.
Yeah.
Right. So and then Nita's brother. Nita's
Jason.
brother.
Jason.
Yeah.
Eric, you took all my people.
That's
That's okay.
So I got to ask everybody, when Jason first shows up, did you know he was dead, or did you figure it out real fast? Because like at first where she's like, it's my brother's birthday, I'm kind of like, all right. And then like all of a sudden the blood starts dripping out. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I wasn't sure
At
if she
first-
was.
At first, I thought she was like hallucinating. Like I
Same.
thought that she was kind of having mental health problems
Mhm.
because of her unresolved trauma, and that's what was happening. But then, yeah,
And the
It was
lettering
like-
kind of helps. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It was almost like her Fight Club, her Brad Pitt
Right.
showing up as her little brother.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is Nita's brother. Yeah. But yeah, and the way that I think it's Marshall Dillon that did the lettering for this one, like Killadelphia, right? I think that was inside the cover somewhere. But the way
Yes.
he did grayed out Jason's lettering. So that kind of lent to the air that he might only be in Nita's head until later when someone else actually saw him.
So one of the historical things I want to talk about is Howling Henry. I think he is basically an analog for a bunch of blues artists who were screwed over.
Got to be some
Mainly-
crossroads kind of thing.
I kept thinking of Daniel Johnson and the deal at the crossroads with the devil
Yeah, I couldn't get
and
off
that
that
whole
either.
myth. But for those who don't know, like the African American artists and blues artists back then were completely screwed over, their music stolen, the rights to their music stolen. And I believe it was the James Brown Get On Up biopic with Chadwick Boseman. They have that scene where like he meets the Rolling Stones and they're like, "We love you. We pattern our music after you." He's like, "Who the hell are these white folk from Britain?" Also, if you haven't seen Get On Up, Chadwick Boseman was awesome in that movie.
Yeah, that was a
Rest
great
in peace.
movie.
But Howling Henry, when he shows up, he's singing, he's rhyming, he's talking about giving up that coochie.
Yeah.
Have the thick legs. There's a whole song he's singing, and Rodney once again kills another rapper.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah,
He killed everybody in
Philadelphia-
the studio.
In Philadelphia,
Yeah, he
he
did.
killed their version of Future.
Yep.
And in this, I don't know who he killed, but he beheaded everybody, and then painted basically BoJack Horseman on the wall.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clearly, he doesn't like rap music.
Well, this character doesn't.
No, you can see why.
God, what this damn song he's singing? Like he's just dismembering everybody. But
Yeah, it's hard not
yeah,
to.
he's
go
like,
there.
"Come on, girl, give me that thing. Ain't got no money, but Lord, can I sing? Mama say, boy, go shout out them blues, 'cause Lord above gone want his dues. Come on, girl, give me that thing." Daddy left home 'cause the tax man rang, but the preacher man laughed 'cause that Geechee long gone. Come on, girl, give me that thing. Yeah, like,
Damn, boy.
Yeah, he doesn't
he's-
hold back.
he's damn close to doing Juvenile's Back That Thing Up. He's real close.
He did say everything, but who is you playing with? I think.
But
I feel like it took me too long to make the connection between him and the demon.
Yes,
Oh.
and
I feel
also
like I
the
was
last-
slow.
in Killadelphia.
I
The
was
last
with you.
time we saw Corson, he was breaking the mayor of Philadelphia's dick off repeatedly.
Right. And we saw the mayor again.
Yes. There is the part where they're reliving Nita's trauma, where the ghost of her brother, she's holding him in her arms, and the blood and the hole in the head formed up. And the panel in particular, let me show it real fast. Hold on. Where you just see the shock in her face is just traumatic, and I believe that was Welby on this first one, or maybe a Patric Reynolds, and killed it on the Patric Reynolds did that panel, and the emotion it was so good. And then they show West Baltimore, which if you watch The Wire, I will reference The Wire constantly, one of the most violent areas in America. And the kid randomly walks into a gunfight, and they show in graphic detail him getting shot in the head.
Yeah.
It's horrible, and like the fact that this detective is the same person who had to go tell her as a child that her parents were killed.
It's
Where she walks in, she's like, "Oh no, not her again."
Right.
It's appropriately horrific.
Yes.
Yeah.
Were there any scenes in the book in particular that like you guys gravitated to, or like you stopped and just started considering?
Yes. Let me pull this one.
Also, like, I'm gonna give credit to Nita when she faces down Corson, and she's like, whatever, dude. Like, I'm from Baltimore. I'm not up for your shit." And he's just like, "I guess I gotta crucify you. Fuck."
I thought this panel was cool right here, where they showed the brother going to hell.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
When
yeah.
I first saw it, that was
And
Yes.
he got like almost like a overview of that city, and you could see the demons. And then he was like, "All right, here we go." So he kind of had to face his fear, being new to all of that. Also,
Stolen straight from Alan Moore's Swamp Thing.
Oh wow.
Yes.
And then but he was ready to do that for his sister. So both of them are like fighting through things for the other's behalf, almost.
Very much so. And I love that relationship, that he was willing to go to hell even for her later on.
Yeah, no questions.
I do love when Anansi first sees was like, "Was there a cute little Nubian brother ghost walking around?"
Yeah. I feel like the scene that kind of spoke to me wasn't
Hey,
so
look
much...
who it is. It's that person who was supposed to reach out to me Wednesday.
Oh.
That's right.
Hi,
I'm calling you
Inja.
out, Inja. Love you, though.
You're supposed to be the sweet to my sour Inja. You're a bit sour lately. Anyways.
Kids are going back to school.
I mean, that's the only reason I'll allow her. Just because of the kids. Anyways, as I was saying, the scene that like spoke to me was less of the horror and more like when that lawyer like bamboozled what's his name, Henry?
Helen Henry. Yes, that part where he's like, "Yeah, I read it for you," and then those fucking assholes are like, "Oh, we got to him
because
before
he was
you
a
got-"
black lawyer. How are you gonna do your own people like that? Like, disrespect.
It's bad.
Yeah,
Happens all the time too.
It's all right, Inja. We still love you.
Of course we do.
There are a lot of scenes that I think are really well, but the splash pages they do of her trauma and the things she went through, like even reliving her parents dying.
Yeah, it was a lot.
The thing that fucked with her most, Jimmy Sangster coming to her, go, "Yep, I got this girl knocked up. I'm getting married," and it's just like,
really,
Especially because I was growing to like him in Killadelphia, and then I read this, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you little piece of shit!
It made a turn
you
for
ghosted her essentially. You ghosted her and went and moved
literally
on.
and figuratively, yeah."
So let me tell you, James Senior, when you get further into it, grows on you. He grows as a character, but they just introduced someone I think that you'll be interested in, a Haitian hero, Toussaint Louventure. He is a vampire hunter with his sister and the rest of the Haitians.
Okay.
Is that coming? What is that from?
Oh,
is that
shit.
The new arc.
The new arc.
It's
shit.
okay. It's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm like this. Spoilers don't bother me.
Same
Me
here.
too.
Because I'm going to read the books anyway.
Yeah.
And then even like with movies and stuff, I might hear spoilers and stuff. I'm still going to go watch the movie.
It was just
you got me
interesting.
so stoked right now, though. I'm excited.
So
by the time I get around to it, I'll forget.
He wears all black.
Exactly.
Nice.
He wears all black, and he's got skulls hanging from his horse, and he's got a sword. Like, it looks like the Headless Horseman when he comes through. And again, like Jason Shawn Alexander, he's gotten so good as that series went on. Like, him and Rodney kind of have a thing, and then for Rodney to come out and say Blackula, the book coming out, it's Jason's best art,
right.
That's
which yes, Blackula is coming out as a graphic novel.
Yeah,
I can't
I
wait.
actually watched when you all interviewed him, so I tuned in. But now you get ready to go make me open my single copies and not wait for the trade.
So the first issue of the new arc, at the very last
Yeah.
page, they show Toussaint.
Nice.
So once
That's
you get a
awesome.
look of it, I've posted them on my Instagram stories
Okay.
before.
Cool. Yeah, that's one of my favorite characters in history.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
again, I do love that you can read this without really knowing a lot about Killadelphia, and even then they fill in the blanks about her relationship with Jimmy enough. And even with like Anansi showing up, he goes, "Oh, I know that brother. I got some dark shit out of him." Threw up on my J's. Like, and Anansi comes to Earth and he's just like, "I gotta find a craps game."
Yeah.
I love the
roll some
speech he
dice.
makes, though. That was one of the
Oh my
pages I had
gosh.
marked too.
That's
speech he makes.
amazing because I had wrote notes on that. I had said the scene where he rolls up on the craps game, he spoke nothing but facts.
Right. He was
Yeah.
preaching hard. Yeah. Everything he said was on point.
Yeah, where he starts telling them basically like their lives. He's like, "Yeah, like y'all are killing each other," and just Anansi's such an interesting character. Like, I can't wait to see him on the screen, depending who's playing him. Like, just
There it is.
there's something about him, and I just hold on. Let me get to you. Yes.
You can see it. I don't want to see my face real big. So
Anansi also complains constantly, where he's like, especially in Killadelphia, he's like, "Listen, I'm out there sunning myself on a tree, and y'all roll up in here, ruin my good time."
there's a
Yeah.
line. I'm trying to find the page, if you guys remember it, where Nita's kind of coming to terms with what she's done in her life as opposed to what has happened to her, and she has that line that's repeats a partial line that started before: "Moments of bliss between moments of trauma, that's life in a nutshell." I wrote that down too. It's towards the end. I know
It was when she was talking to Corson.
Yeah. But of course I can't find it right now, because why would I want to do that?
Because, I mean, her whole interaction with Corson, where he's like, "Aren't you afraid?" She's like, "Dude, I'm from West Baltimore. By comparison, this ain't shit. Probably isn't even real." And exactly, which begs the question, what is real? What is true? The world believes that...
That was another awesome artwork scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then like how you and I were talking earlier, Dan, about Gatlin.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I love that picture of the horse. Like, it's so demonic and foreboding. And then Anansi rolls up there. And I love that he found all sister angels to fly in with him.
Yeah. That was on the...
That was not lost on me. That he... Yes, that's a beautiful splash page.
Yeah, when he brings it back up. And the color contrast is so beautiful right there, too.
Yeah.
Very much so. I just like how he's constantly like, "Listen, I'm a god. Like, don't talk to me like this."
That. Don't forget that.
Put some respect on my name.
Exactly.
Oh, God. If he started pulling off his glasses, be like, "All three of y'all, put some respect. Is we done? Oh, is we finished?" Like, if he went full Birdman, I don't know how I'd handle it. For anybody wondering, go back and watch that Breakfast Club with Birdman and Charlemagne. It's one of the scariest, funniest things I've ever watched.
Yeah, that was a long time ago right there.
It's a meme that won't quit dying, especially him going,
Yep.
mean mugging.
Wild.
This also is one of those Corson pages
Oh, yeah.
to show how menacing he is. And again, he's right in her face, and she's like, "Yes, that's called torture by sentiment." He's like, "We start small around these parts, but don't worry. Things are about to get very interesting." Reshowing her parents dying.
It took them a minute to believe her when she was letting them know about the killings.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't think that the detectives or any other people were going to actually see it. So I thought that was cool how they let them see what she was seeing, so they wouldn't like just think she was crazy.
That prison scene where Hal and Henry gets loose.
With the one where he has just the two guards.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, where they chained him to the bed and he still got loose.
Of course.
Right. There's so much to like about this book, and for Rodney to come out and kind of change up the game a little bit with this, and now I'm waiting to see how it crosses over. Is Danita going to end up having to go to Philadelphia?
I would love that.
Or and also, like, she brings up how they used to call Baltimore Bodymore.
I wrote that down too. Murderland, yeah.
Murderland, yeah. Again, for people who haven't watched who don't know about Baltimore, watch The Wire. That's loosely based off of true stories. Oof.
I don't know if they're going to cross paths yet. It's because it's going to
be a while.
It's going to be a while because it seems like she has a lot to deal with within her own city, and then Killadelphia is like all vampires right now, and it's like I don't see them leaving there anytime soon.
Sprinkling of werewolves.
That's right. Now the werewolves are there, right? So which I'm enjoying the Elysian Gardens.
And a witch.
I really catch up. I'm missing out on a lot here.
So book 2 is where shit starts to jump off crazy.
Jeez.
The Elysium Gardens, which is all black and white, introduces the werewolves who were cursed when they went to Italy. They were Moors invading, and they went to kill a witch, and she cursed them with being lichens.
Oh boy.
And then they came back to where they lived, and they ended up killing their countrymen.
And then Rodney Barnes has a short stack where you can read Substack. I keep mentioning
Dark Apocrypha.
No pancakes, just
I understood.
Now I want pancakes, though. Weirdly.
Substack. So where you can actually read that series there, and it's good. So you're able to pick up from what you leave off on in the back of Killadelphia.
Also, just to put it out there, the werewolves are Black Panthers. One of them is one of the lead Black Panther. It was a literary character, and goddamn, I can't remember her name. This is why I need Jen here, because she called Rodney out on it. Huh? No, Angela Davis.
Yeah.
Oh, Angela Davis is not one, but the leader of the group met with Angela Davis.
Right.
Oh,
so
she appears in the book.
She appears in the book.
Okay, I thought the lead werewolf was.
Yeah, no. Because that would have been cool. That would have been cool.
Jen called Rodney out on it live.
But she meets with Angela Davis, which gives her a whole compassion for the movement and the people, because her character was used to just fighting in the past and killing first, asking questions later, where things were, not like that in modern day times. And speaking with Angela Davis, she ended up joining the movement.
Yeah, Rodney does a good job of like weaving historical characters in, and one of my favorite things from Killadelphia, and I keep going back to that, is there's a scene when John Adams is in purgatory, and he's thinking back on his life, and he's like, I didn't believe in slavery, but I did nothing about it. I believed in women's rights. I didn't fight for it. And he starts, pondering his own life. And I think those are the cool introspective moments that we get. And he always talks about how, as you get older in life, perspective to kind of look back on. And then generational trauma was another kind of thing he talks about quite a bit. And of course, we're back on trauma again. And for those who don't know, Rodney talks very openly how he's in therapy. And is a big proponent of it. And Nita Hawes is very much a character who probably needs therapy.
Not probably.
I don't know when she's gonna. Yeah, I don't know how she's gonna get there, but yeah, she does. between trying to save the world and stay with Jason and all the other things. But on a much lighter note, if y'all ever get to the area, Tacoma Station is a real place and it's a really nice jazz bar.
Oh wow!
Good
I
to
think
know.
the blog is going to become her handling her trauma.
Yeah, definitely. A way to
Yeah.
cope, to work
Yeah.
through some things.
It also, Rodney says volume 2 is going to have an even worse Dillon in it, worse than
Whoa.
Corson. And I was just like, okay, like, where do we
When is
go?
volume 2 supposed to come out?
So the first issue of the new run, a new arc, starts
Number
2 weeks
7?
from now.
Oh,
Oh,
all right, bet.
Okay.
Yeah, August
So-
17th.
Yes, so I'm excited about that.
No, 13th.
Philadelphia comes out this week,
Mhm.
which I think we got one more issue after this, and that wraps up that arc. And again, I'll have Rodney on again because why not have him on for a 4th time? He, for some reason, likes talking to Jen and I.
This starts the new one.
Yep.
That's the
Is it number
last
6?
issue. Yes.
Yeah, this is a new one. Yeah.
I gotta subscribe to his Substack. I really do, because the Johnny Gatlin stuff. After seeing him in this, I was like, I want to know what this dude's story is.
Yeah. Johnny Gatlin he's dope.
It kind of looks like a cross between the Lone Ranger and Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
he
sums it up.
he works for Corson. So
It's more of like, how does he end up being Corson's, which I hope they get into in that Substack story.
yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet, but I think we're gonna head in that direction.
I do love when Anansi runs into the cops who just happen to be demons, which fits really well. Especially with they mentioned was it Freddie
Gray.
They mentioned that in here, and I was like, oh, way to slide that in, Rodney, right before the cops show up.
It was tight.
Yes. It was very stealthy of him to throw that in. But so during the dice game, he's like, this is the story of the noble brothers and sisters taken from their land to toil in the name of building a nation. 200 years after they declared you free without the 40 acres, that funky ass mule, and every other bullshit promise made for fucking over your entire culture.
It is.
Stick you in cities with no infrastructure, no real food, no resources, creating depression, desperation, anxiety, and a million other bullshit Freudian concepts. Oh, but what they do provide are guns that they send you to jail for having, and when you kill each other, fighting for the scraps they toss from their ivory corporate towers, they'll shake their heads and call it black on black crime. Ain't that a bitch? Let me roll these dice before I lose my mojo. Snake eyes.
And it's almost like he knew that those particular cops were coming to that area, so that's why he went over to that dice game to take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Anansi is just slick as fuck.
Yeah.
He just is. There's like a cockiness to him that I enjoy, especially there's the part where he's talking to Jason where he's like, you scared? And he goes, well, why? I was like, listen, this is a great story. Like, I'm the god of stories. Like, I want this shit. There is, I think it's volume 4. It's March 12th, 1968, and they have Howling Henry just looking up the stars, thinking about how happy he is with his family, and he's gonna have blue crab and, get down on some grub and some pasta salad. And then those dudes come over and say, oh yeah, you don't own anything. We got your shit. You're done.
Yeah, that was so messed up.
Yeah.
Just the casual attitude of how they did it, and it's so fun. And then you go back to the future and he's screaming rage. Mm-hmm. And the Resident Evil shit's coming out of his mouth.
It makes sense that he could be the host for the first time.
Yep. All that built up anger.
Yeah, because before then, he's creative, but you don't know how angry he is. Do you know what I mean? Like he's got the angsty music and the naughty edge to him, whatever. But
he stopped singing.
Yeah,
right.
And then while he's going after those particular people, because they're all connected to his past.
Anika, you're getting called out.
Inja, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
So you got to do the Inja and start rocking back and forth on the bed. I notice these things, Inja. I'm just saying.
I have to take my glasses off and then put my glasses on.
I do that too. I was doing that for the last half hour before we started.
So was I the only one who was thoroughly upset that Carpenter was alive for all those years? Like, why didn't he just die off?
Yeah.
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 I mean, I guess because the revenge, like, you needed to have it.
Taking out his ancestors first. I mean, his
descendants.
His bloodline.
you.
Yeah, he went
Yeah.
after his bloodline to make sure.
Make sure he knew
At
it.
the swimming pool, eating the kids.
Yeah. It was very subtle.
Make sure to kill him when he's an old man and nobody wants him, or he can't have kids anymore because he can't get
Yeah,
them.
he definitely can't replace them.
He comes up singing, "Down by the river on a mighty cool day, was fixing to take a dip with my boy Sidney, but the boss man said, darky's best not stay, and I bet not see neither one of you round this way. We looked at the cracks and did the math. There was the two of us that blocked his path, so I picked up a rock and bust his head, and saints alive, that sucker lay dead."
Yes.
I don't know where he got these lyrics from. But if you listen to Daniel Johnson's actual like songs, they're about this like sung this way.
Yeah.
Except with more like sounding like you're passing a kidney stone.
That's one way to put it. Yeah.
It really does. Like, was I the cross? Oh! Like it just sounds like pain.
There's a moaning.
Muddy Waters was like that too, where it
Mhm.
just sounded like this guttural pain coming from inside.
It's the blues.
Yeah, that's the real blues.
Yeah,
So the
it's
only-
different. Yeah.
The only thing I've gotten that feeling from was hearing those throat singers,
Oh, interesting. I never thought about that before.
where it's
Is
just
that a
this
point?
weird,
Indigenous people.
Yeah,
this guttural sound where it's
it is.
you don't know what it is, but like you hear it and you hear like when I hear those throat singers, I immediately think, man, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
Like
I'll be
it
right
just
back.
has to.
Mhm.
Like I talk like Randy Macho Man Savage for 5 minutes and my throat's fucked up for an hour.
It's so easy to burn your voice out. I can't imagine they can talk for a while after they perform.
I can't imagine. I mean, a lot of honey, a lot of tea,
Mhm.
but
Some kind of lubrication.
my goddamn, I'm such a dirty-headed mind.
Yeah, my giggle
I don't-
wasn't at all dirty.
I don't need Jen for
Yeah.
that. Jen literally sent me a picture of a banana split she was getting ready to eat. And she's like doing the Silence of the Lambs. She's like, I'd fuck me. I'd fuck you. So hard. Would you fuck me?
That's too funny.
We're terrible people.
I don't know. I'm innocent.
We literally had a
Innocent.
segment where Morbius Comics and Jen talked about Wolverine going down on Jean Grey for half an hour. Where Jen's saying like Wolverine ties his hands behind his back and goes down on Jean like a pie eating contest.
Well, it would make sense for him to tie his hands back.
Yeah, like it just. And then Morbius, of course, is just feeding it. Like
That's quite an evocative image. Thank you very much.
also shout out to Morbius. He went in front of the CGC booth at Terrificon today and broke a slab open.
Oh no.
Aizworth, did you see what Morbius did in front of the CGC booth today?
No, I didn't.
He cracked the slab and went to hand their shit back.
I'm like, my screen's not frozen. My mouth is just stuck that way.
Dude,
I gotta check that one out.
It's on his Instagram stories. I love that dude. He's so
That is so
fucking wild.
hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, they've been
What did
messing
they
up a
do?
lot of people's orders and stuff.
Mhm.
Like one of my buddies showed me where he had 2 books, and one was for the other thing on the labels of those slabs, and then he had another set of books where the book was backwards. You know, and it's just like we pay all this money to have
And
this
it's
stuff
not like
done.
it's a rush job.
It's
I
not
would
it
have
takes
to throw
forever.
No, it's not.
Yeah, so it's
Because
like
some people have been waiting 2 years for their stuff.
Right.
I have to
Right.
throw
Right.
hands.
That's what happens when you have
Seriously.
YouTubers, influencers go to be part of your CGC Academy.
that's right.
Not saying names, but I see y'all. So there, I keep wondering where this series is going to go, because like at one point is her, Jimmy, and Joe's going to have a showdown, because she's going to say she's over this shit. She's not over it.
Right.
Especially if Jimmy shows up with a little baby.
Oh man.
But she does have that revelation that maybe she put the pain of losing her parents into the pain of losing him too.
Yeah. I think
her brother.
she's gonna end up moving past him altogether.
I'm hoping so.
So by the time they finally meet up,
I want her to
it-
be happy.
yeah, exactly.
She's going to end up with a
You really
Nazi.
want that for her character. Yeah.
There you go. I wouldn't be
have
mad at
some
that.
love life.
Yeah.
Anansi's going to drop it on her, and there's going to be like a weird feud.
That's not such a bad idea.
Or we
She
get a
have
new
a little
character,
Half
You know,
mortal.
a new
Yeah.
character in the mix. You meet somebody.
I
you know?
think they need to have a new character,
Yeah.
There are
because
enough
especially
new
if
characters
Jason's
now.
gone,
Right.
she's going to have to trauma bond with somebody.
Right.
True. Yeah,
You
because
know,
it's hard to tell. who's
maybe the
gone
next
through.
arc.
Yeah. Jason and Nanzi have some great lines together too. Oh God, where is it?
Before the battle, or
Yeah, like where Jason's talking to Anansi about what happened.
Mm.
Um,
I should have used my post-it notes.
I use no post-it notes, and I'm terrible for it. Oh, Jason going through panel by panel his murder,
Mm.
where he's like, I wasn't alive for very long, and the longer I'm dead, tougher it is to remember my life. What I do remember wasn't very good. My last moments felt like a lifetime. In some ways, I guess they were. I knew I was gonna die. Whatever existed beyond life was warning me, like a dying flame yielding one last burst of awareness. When the bullet hit my head, it was like a red-hot bee sting burrowing its way into my brain. Then nothing. Somewhere around my autopsy, there was a flickering of consciousness. By the time of my funeral, I was back, not in my body, of course, just around. I observed Reverend Abernathy conducting my funeral. That's when I knew for certain I was dead, and that Nita brought me back. Her love was like a magnet that wouldn't let go, only it was tainted by her deep sense of guilt over my passing. I couldn't leave the material world with her like that. And then Nanzi's like, you sure your little ass wasn't just scared? It's okay to say it. Blasper, I am God. He's calling him Black Casper, Blasper.
You gotta
Like-
appreciate that.
I didn't know that. Oh man.
It's like, this is what happens when I try to share. No, it was an engaging story, especially the part about the bullet. Creepy stuff. How can I help Nita? She's lying there because of me. If I just moved on. It's like, you were so wrong, little baby ghost. Our dearest Donita is lying there because a master demon removed her soul and sent it to hell instead of standing here reminiscing on breaths gone by. How about following her energy trail and giving Nita what she needs? And what's that? If I knew, I wouldn't be talking shit with you. I don't like you, Anansi. He's like, yeah, we about to find out what you're really made of, baby girl.
Right. Because that's when she was on her way to see Corson, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna find it right after we finish.
And then that Carpenter estate stuff, which I was like, Carpenter, is he trying to do like a weird horror homage to John Carpenter? Because
You know, I
He was-
forgot about that for a minute because we have carpenters around here that owned all the land that they built the University of Delaware.
I mean, that could
on.
be too, because he
Ooh.
mentioned stuff around Baltimore that is very inside baseball. And for anybody who knows, Rodney grew up in Annapolis,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and he just got the key to the city a couple of weeks ago. And this is what kind of asshole Rodney is. He took a picture with Moonlit Comics and told her to send it to me to make Dan jealous.
Oh man.
Damn.
That means he likes you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
She
just
sent
love
it to me.
language.
She's like, Rodney
My
says
kind of petty.
yeah, he's like, make sure you send it to Dan so he gets jealous. I was
That
like,
is totally his love language, though.
I'm at work and I'm like, the fuck is this shit? I was like, are you still with Rodney? She's like, no, I left her. And I was like, oh, I was going to say, tell that motherfucker to shut the fuck up and do some writing. I do like that Jason, he finally sees Corson. He's like, I'm not afraid of you. He's like, well, you should be. Their fate's worse than death. The scales have yet to be weighed regarding your destiny, boy. I can keep you here without a peep from anyone. And she's like, Jason, go away. And he's like, not without you. And I love this back and forth between the two of them because it shows the love and respect that he has for her, where she still thinks that she's protecting him, where at this point he's protecting her.
So mutual, yeah.
And then once again, we saw the mayor from Killadelphia.
Yeah. So one of the greatest lines, I think it was in volume 2, Seesaw Tevin goes to hell. And Corson's there, and the mayor keeps pissing off Corson, and he keeps ripping his dick off. And Seesaw calls him out, and he goes, listen, man, like, I can help with some shit, but if you're content just ripping dicks all day. So, like, the little West Baltimore of this, or the West Philly of this kid, he's just running his mouth to a demon.
Yeah, that's a serious torture.
Which, for people wondering, Tevin Seesaw basically is Rodney's version of Constantine for this universe.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. Yep.
Jinx.
Anika, since Sheena says you're not talking enough, I'm gonna.
Sheena says it too. No, Sheena didn't say that, did she?
Oh, I thought it was Inja.
It was Inja.
It was
Inja said it
Inja.
earlier. That was rectified.
But give some final thoughts on this.
Excellent. It's excellent. I think I actually like it better than Killadelphia.
So, is it because of the female protagonist, or is it just
I think
because...
that's a huge part of it. I think that is a huge part of it. But like, I loved Killadelphia, the one volume that I read. But like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because you see a lot of vampire stuff, but you don't see as much demon stuff.
Yeah.
So
the parapsychology is missing.
Yeah. So like it just felt like a little something different.
Oh.
Shh.
Rodney did say when he was on that he wanted to make a conscious effort to have a female protagonist, that he felt it was too patriarchy heavy in Killadelphia, and he thought that's why people gravitated to Abigail so much, is because of how vehemently she was against the patriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. And he also said, like, it's historical dudes who are so set in their ways that they don't know how to do different. And maybe that's the thing. Like, it is dude heavy. If you're a history nerd, like I am, you kind of love Killadelphia.
I love it too. Yeah.
And this, I think the psychology of it is heavier. Not saying it's a therapy session.
That's probably why I like it, because I'm a psych person, mental health, all of that.
So I've been in therapy for 2.5 years, and there's certain lines here where I was like, oh, this is something from therapy.
Say, was it activating? Did it activate you a little bit?
No, like I just, in discussion, like you could kind of see like the therapy way of de-escalating the way they're talking in this. And as someone who has like a mild version of PTSD, there were certain things in there. Although I broke up with my therapist because they wanted me to forgive people who wronged me.
I mean, that's normal.
Yeah, I was just like,
you're just not ready for it. That's all.
No, I was just like, nah, they don't
too
deserve
soon.
it. Like, nah. And they're like, well, you're never going to heal. I was like, I'm good.
I'm okay with that.
Rodney was very open about his therapy, and I was kind of curious if he put one of his kids in this too, because in Killadelphia, Brittany is his youngest daughter, who ripped his head off in the book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and
That's
his other daughter is Brittany's sister in it that Tevin turned normal.
Right, right. I think Anika has to finish reading Killadelphia first, because you can't really go off of just a first trade.
Yeah,
Get
change
through
some
volume
take
2, especially with Thomas Jefferson's slave who comes back
Yeah,
and dealing with his trauma.
The stories take a turn. Yeah.
Although one of the funniest things I ever heard was Jen talking African American history with Rodney, correcting him on Sally Hemings.
I gotta check that one.
That was the second discussion with him, and I was just like, okay. Apparently, she's a Sally Hemings expert. She read a lot about Sally Hemings.
Oh, nice.
And she had a lesbian affair in the book with Abigail.
Right.
Yeah. Look at Nika's like, oh,
I'm really missing out on a lot here.
Yeah, it's a lot of characters in Killadelphia. So that first trade is only a select few of the characters.
Tell him, Sheena.
Yeah, like Killadelphia, I'd say it's heightening every trade. Also, I think it's Rodney kind of figuring himself and Jason out. He was very open in the last interview we had with him that he's afraid Jason's going to leave him.
I've heard him say that before. But...
Yeah, he's just like, I'm afraid Jason's going to leave me. He's getting bored with it. Like, I think Blackula's going to keep him on a little longer, but like we have this symbiotic relationship, and I can't have him leaving.
Yeah, his art and his writing, it flows.
Yeah,
it's like they two peas in a pod, and I remember him talking about that.
So when you get to Elysium Gardens, Anika, a funny thing is Rodney had to browbeat him into doing it because Jason didn't want to do it, and then he started doing it. He's like, you're right.
I think if he gives him some time to do more Empty Zone.
Yeah, right. I'm kind of jealous Jen's going to meet Jason at Rose City.
Oh, wow.
I'm definitely jelly. I mean, I'm happy for Jen. But...
She's going to browbeat him into coming on the show with Rodney so they can have it out on the show. Because Rodney said some shit about Jason.
They're so good together.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just like those dysfunctional marriage where they're like, I love you, but I'm going to complain about you endlessly.
Yeah, I missed San Diego Comic-Con because Rodney was over there.
Yeah, and they had that great panel with him, Josh Williamson, and Scott Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody who hasn't read Nailbiter by Josh Williamson, it's one of my favorite books. It's a town in Portland that has basically the most serial killers bred from there, and they all have crazy themes. There's one called the Silent Movie Killer who kills people in the theater who talk. I'm a fan. The blonde who kills people who catcall women. The book burner. The people who burn books and the kills. They all have weird themes. And then the nail biter who he would chew the nails off of his victims down to the bones of their fingers. Anika does not look like a fan of this.
It's on my wish list, but I haven't read it.
It's a fun read. So, in Against Killadelphia Volume 1, what would you higher recommend?
Oh, that's not a fair question. That's like, which is your favorite child?
I think it depends who the reader is.
Well, let me tell you why it's a dilemma for me personally then. How about that?
Okay.
Since you've known me long enough to know that Killadelphia was like my sort of gateway comic book, so it's hard for me to not love it. But at the same time, totally identifying with Nita in this. So it's hard for me to make a direct comparison between the two that way.
Okay, so
think if-
which one would you recommend to somebody to read first? Killadelphia because it came first, or
Oh, it depends on the person. Probably. That's hard. I don't know. It would really depend on the person.
I'd have to say Killadelphia.
So if I knew what they watched on TV, like if they were an X-Files
Right.
fan, I'd probably say Nita.
Mm-hmm.
If they were like a Wire fan or something like that, or looking for like a fresh vampire book or a history person, I would do Killadelphia.
Yeah, if they like True Blood or something.
I do feel like a female reader probably would gravitate more to Nita. I mean, I'm not trying to like gender bias, but I just think
No, there is something there, I think.
So I was looking at it more from that being Rodney's first writing of this universe, almost.
if you couldn't read this without reading the other one, I would say read Killadelphia. But since you can kind of pick
They're
this up,
standalone. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
I
what
would
makes
say,
it hard for me too.
I would say Killadelphia just because I know the type of people that I surround myself with, and this one has less to start, so it's like it's
Okay.
more palatable. Like be like, okay, you only have to read 6 issues. If you like that, then read Killadelphia, as opposed to like read all of these, and then if you like that, read these.
That's true.
I'm also going to put it out there in October, I think it is. The hardcover of Killadelphia with the first 2 trades comes out. I'll probably buy that because I'm a jackass and I buy everything. But I like the hardcover representation because just
I wonder what's going to be on it.
Like the cover.
Yeah, like the artwork. Yeah.
it has the American flag and John Adams and the whole revolutionary. So like these oversized books, like for Deadly
Those
Class,
are nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love them. They're heavy as fuck to read though, but the bigger pages are nice.
I visit those at the LCS.
Yeah, the Omnis are cool.
DCB has them for $29 a piece.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
So
cheap.
it's the way to go for it. No Good Comics and I did a one-off on the first hardcover 2 weeks
Nice.
ago.
I need that book in
talk
particular.
about how horrible people are. But I go back and forth because I could recommend either. I have a gentleman who is kind of religious on my overnight crew, but he also loves history, comedy, and African American history. So I gave him all the Killadelphia trades. I was like, hey, man, this might not be for you, but... And I told him all the shows that Rodney wrote for, and he's like, all right, I'm going to check it out. And he's like, a lot to think about with that book. And I think that's a good thing. Like,
Yeah,
I
he's
really
not
do.
wrong. It is thought-provoking. They both are.
And you could tell Rodney did a lot of homework
Mhm.
before writing Killadelphia. You know, to with all the history aspects to tie everything in.
So many threads. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the
Like,
fact
that's important.
So, Anika, one thing about Rodney, he loves Hamilton.
I love
Yeah.
Hamilton. I love
He's-
Hamilton.
He's seen it over 30 times,
Okay, not that much.
not counting the HBO. Like, he's seen it live.
Yeah.
many
Like
times?
the kids won't even go anymore with him.
He got
So-
money.
I can't even
Yeah.
imagine like having
he-
been so
he
many times
also-
that I didn't want to go.
Tried to be a WCW pro wrestler on top of that.
Oh, I
That's
missed
a whole
that.
other- So that scene where John Adams is watching Hamilton, watching himself be made fun of,
Yeah.
was taken from him seeing Hamilton so many times, and he had to work that in.
Yeah, that was a trip how he did that where he was in the audience.
Very much so. I like Hamilton, but I don't know if I could watch it that many times. Like I'm trying to think of anything I've watched that many times, like in that few years.
Especially live.
And he saw like the prime cast of them live.
I think I could.
It was very good. I watched the HBO one, or HBO Max, or was it Disney?
Disney
Disney
Plus.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I watched it quite a few times. But live, I don't know if I have the patience to like sit there and watch.
I think you would be interested in like how it changes from night to night, though. This is my theater geek talking right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
like with the understudy, and even if they change the whole cast eventually.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, because it's going to be a little different every time.
Yeah.
So I got to say something, Anika. Like watching your Instagram stories, I've learned so much about Caravana and costuming. Like,
That was today, yeah.
yes, I was like walking to the store to get something to eat, and I'm like watching your stories, and I was like, man, she is going in about this fucking costume.
Listen, $800 is too much money to be spending
that's
on
fucking-
a panty and bra that's bedazzled.
Craziness.
I honestly I love it because I was sitting there going, you know what? She's right. I've seen these like costumes. She's not wrong. Like you could go to Victoria's Secret and go get the like Michaels and just do your own shit.
Yeah. Get the glue gun.
Yes, and there was people who were like making their own stuff and going down there. So I'm like, why are you spending all that big money for one day? Because next year you can't wear it. It's going to be a different costume.
I was going to say, it's not like you can use it again.
Totally off topic. Did anybody watch Paper Girls today?
I started watching episode 1, but then I was getting bored. Not because it was a bad show, just I got distracted.
Wasn't the right moment.
So then I'm like,
I
I'm
forgot
gonna go
it
back
started
to you.
today.
Yeah, Jen watched the first 3 and she really liked it. I hated the end of the comic series, so I'm kind of hesitant to watch it because I know like I'm gonna get angry.
I think Sheena started to watch it. She
Yeah,
said
probably.
that the casting was on par.
Oh.
I can't wait to see the casting for Killadelphia because Rodney's been so fucking hush about it. And I mentioned a couple of people when John was on, he's like, I cannot talk about it.
I can't even imagine the NDAs.
There's a specific person that I want desperately for Seesaw. And it'll never happen. But I kind of think, and it's not an actor.
Yeah.
See, I want Jonathan Majors for Sangster.
Junior?
A picture.
Junior.
That would be an awesome casting. Lance Reddick is my senior.
Right.
And in my head, I want ASAP Rocky playing Seesaw.
I can see that.
Yeah.
He's got the look.
Yeah.
He's just a little too old.
And he was in this movie called Dope back in the day. So he's
yes.
I love that movie. I have it on Blu-ray.
So I mean it could work.
Dope was great. Oh my god. Fuck. There's a bunch of those movies that came out. Belly was awesome.
Oh, I love that movie.
Baby Boy also was in. So I had like a crazy idea for Britney's sister, and it'll never happen because she's way too expensive. Zendaya.
Oh,
that's my girl.
Because she can pull off those emotional moments.
Yeah.
And then for Abigail Adams, I had the woman from Dr. Sleep, who played Rose the Hat. She was in the Mission Impossible movies. She also was in Dune as Lady Jessica.
Oh,
Rebecca Ferguson.
Thank you.
I need someone who's proper, but also can like carry herself like a badass and like throw down in a minute.
That's got to be Abigail.
Yeah, Abigail's just she's that bitch. Like, and I mean that in the nicest way.
And the nicest. Oh, I knew it was a compliment when you said it.
Yeah, Abigail is tough.
Like I need that girl that can throw down. And John Adams, I have one person in mind.
Who you got?
And it's John Malkovich.
Okay.
Oh, I can see that.
All right.
John Malkovich, 100%.
Yeah.
And then Thomas
He's got the right
Jefferson,
attitude.
who comes up. Yes, Thomas Jefferson comes around later. Anika. and he's basically Lestat from the Vampire Lestat movie or Interview with the Vampire. He's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He has no idea that he's done wrong. And unfortunately he's dead, but the slave Jupiter, it would have been from the Green Mile. I can't remember the actor's name. The very large man.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
That was Jupiter in my head. Like, just.
Yeah, I wish he were here to play it.
It's either that or someone insane like Ray Lewis. Like, just.
that I could see that.
That's funny.
But Nita, if I were going to cast that, I hate for saying this, but somewhere between Regina King or a little bit younger and doing Journey Smollett from Lovecraft Country.
Yeah,
Hold
but Journey's too light skinned.
Yeah.
She's too light.
I like the lady that's the lead of Star Trek right now.
That's
And she was on The Walking Dead for a while too.
I forget what her name is.
I'm gonna look it up.
Fuck.
Like her character's name's Michael, but I forget her real her
yeah.
actual name.
I can't think of it right this second.
Not the Okoye from Walking Dead or in Black Panther. Actually, like Letitia Wright from Black Panther.
She could do it too.
Yeah, well, yeah, like Shuri. Yeah, I could see
Lupita Nyong'o would also.
Her name's Sonequa Martin Green.
Yes, that's
okay.
okay.
Yeah. It was the daughter of.
See her.
The daughter of the dude who was from The Wire, who was.
Yeah. I can totally see her as
everything goes back to The Wire.
It does.
It's the center of the universe.
No, but like if you look at The Wire, how many actors spun out of that show? Like Michael K. Williams, Michael B. Jordan was a little kid on that damn show.
He was a baby. He grew up on that show.
Which my friend said,
it's so good.
Honestly, it's so good. The first season is
great.
great.
I feel like when it came out, I was too young to be watching it.
My friends tell me all the time about I'm like perpetually wanting to do a rewatch.
When it came out.
So John's Comics with Kids did a whole series of videos on that with Fire Guy Ryan. They did the entire Wire run.
Oh wow!
And they did Sopranos.
I need to look that up.
The covers for Nita have been amazing, especially those Saturday Evening Posts. Norman Rockwell.
JSA. Yeah.
I really dug them. I got an act of kindness from Unruly Simeon from the Instagram community. He sent me the signed version cover of issue 1 from JSA's store, and I got really guilty when I looked up how much it was from the store.
That's a really good gift.
I had a lot of. He also sent me a CGC 9.8 of Nita #1.
Wow.
And honestly, like I got really guilty because I was like, why is this dude sending this to me? Like I talk with him every now and again. I started going, I got to do something. I got to do something for him. And
don't feel like that, Dan. You're not lucky. You're blessed. That's just
there. You go.
Just remember that.
Yeah, that's an A-OK.
Yeah.
So I have a weird thing when I read books, I listen to music. I'm one of those people, I have to multitask, I guess, and music is like a soundtrack to the book.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys listen to anything when you read this?
I did not, but I guess I made up tunes to the songs that were being sung.
This second run around, the second time reading today, I was listening to the newest Kendrick Lamar, which was all about fucking therapy.
That would have been a good listen.
United in Grief, to open it, was just a damn good track. And the whole Kendrick first half of that album was basically about him having to go get therapy and about COVID. And that was my soundtrack to it this time around.
Yeah, I had to read in silence. I can't do the music.
Yeah, I had there was baseball on in the background.
DJ Shadow's introducing the first time around was probably what I listened to because I love trip hop playing in the background because you can just kind of lose yourself into it. I know Gambit listens to reggaeton every now and again. I could not read to that shit.
It's hard to sit
I just
still.
put my Spotify on shuffle for my light. So
Yeah.
most probably some Beyonce was on there.
I haven't listened to new Beyonce, but I heard someone's already trying to sue her for stealing music.
Khalees.
Khalees, yes.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I hadn't heard that yet.
But I don't think
So-
she's gonna get that far with it.
She'll get a payout, like minor payout probably.
Maybe
if they
not
can
even
prove it.
that. Maybe not even that because Khalees didn't own her music back then because Pharrell and whoever else like kind of basically a situation like that happened in this book here. She was
Okay.
screwed over for that.
And if you'd like to hear Nas go off on Khalees, listen to one of his last albums. He had a lot to say about their relationship. Mastodon, please go watch The Wire. If you don't like the first season, you won't like the rest of it. But Michael K. Williams as the gay hustler of Omar, fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And eventually Method Man shows
Kills it.
up as Cheese, and you're gonna want to hate him passionately.
And then Idris Elba too.
Oh, yeah.
Idris Elba.
Everybody's on this show.
Everybody.
Yes, Idris Elba is playing
What?
Stringer Bell.
Stringer Bell. The game is the game. Doctor
Like
Who Adventures.
the rapper
love
of the game?
themes when reading. No, not like the rapper of the game. Oh,
No, because it sounded like
No,
it's
he's
like the
talking
game
about the-
played the game.
no. So like they're always talking about how drug running is the game, and
Okay.
Idris is always like, the game is the game. Don't take it personally.
Oh,
And
boy.
he wears a suit and a tie, and he's always looking proper. He's got glasses on.
Yeah, because he was trying to take everything legitimate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an awesome series.
My brother is this who I think. Good seeing you, Robert. I don't know if I have this as high as Killadelphia in my ratings, but it's damn near up there. So like I think the first Killadelphia I had is a 9 out of 10. And I might be an 8.5 on here, but like depending on the day of the week, it could change. I think the second read through actually resonated with me more, seeing more of the emotional damage in it. And after being in therapy and kind of understanding more of the triggers. And there's a lot of fucking triggers in this book. A ton of it.
Absolutely.
Nico, what would you rate it as out of 10?
I'd probably give it between an 8.5 to 9 because you always have to leave room for improvement.
Right.
So yeah.
Fair enough. Also, is there a book that you think people would like if they like this? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Like horror, I feel.
Or even just emotional drama.
Come back to me. Come
Okay.
back to me. Emotional.
Because I say Saga is another one. Like if you just want to feel like you're getting kicked constantly while you're down.
All the time. All the time.
Yes. Azores while she's thinking.
So I would give it a. Let's see. I give it I think I go at 8.5 too. Because I don't know. I guess I had a lot more action in Killadelphia, but this book wasn't intended to have as much action. You know, it's more dialogue. So that's why I give it that score. But I enjoyed it thoroughly also. So I'm on board for the series. And then as far as a book to check out Sorry for the noise.
It's all right.
okay. It's okay.
Another book to check out after reading this, I would say Something is Killing the Children. You know,
Fair.
Erica goes
Fair.
through a lot once you start learning about her character, you know.
Especially
Like
the
her-
latest chapter, you start getting more into her past and
Her
how
past,
fucked up it
yeah.
was.
Yeah, so that's what I would say to check out if you have it, but I'm sure a lot of people are already reading that. And then Dope Tattoo, by the way, I see you right there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got the Order of St. George on my hand.
Yeah.
Something is killing the children. Gambit is my tattoo artist also.
Shout out to
okay.
Gambit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I saw his page. It's awesome.
Yeah, he does a lot of comic work. So he just did a George Perez
Oh, nice.
R.I.P. piece on somebody with Superman battle damage, Captain America's shield, and Thor's hammer.
I saw that. I
Nice.
saw it on his
So-
page. Yeah.
George Perez actually walked his wife down the aisle for their wedding. They were
Wow.
very close.
Wow. That's
I didn't know they
awesome.
were that close.
Puerto,
Yeah.
Puerto Rican brothers.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. I always love seeing it. And go check out the Comic Book G Spots page, please. He's a great friend of the show and always has a great show going on. And also a lover of Dune, so I have to always support.
How can you not?
Yes. Tara.
So I will. I like the idea of Room to Grow too. I'm going to notch it up to an 8.75 just to be a little bit different.
Oh.
And just because I really I was feeling Nita. There aren't a lot of characters like her, so I want to come back to see what I'm anxious to see what she's going to do next. In terms of reading, I tried to take a outside the box pick because I know there's some stuff that we were maybe all going to gravitate towards, and I really did. I was looking back at Jason Shawn Alexander's Empty Zone and some of the themes.
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it made me want to reread Empty Zone too. So, and I think I told you guys already that it also made me want to reread some prose and stuff. But in terms of graphic novels, I'm going to give a shout out to Empty Zone for sure.
I'm sitting at an 8.5 on this as well. And my recommendation, if you have not read it, Bitter Root by David F. Walker.
That's a good choice.
Fantastic book. Also, if you're looking for people of color protagonists, fantastic read. Also, like outside the box, Far Sector.
Yes.
Yeah.
I almost
Bro.
said that one.
The art
My favorite of all time.
So people are not talking about Jamal Campbell enough.
His artwork. Awesome.
He's fucking phenomenal, and it bothers the shit out of me because I honestly think he's the next great artist no one's talking about. And then you add in whoever's doing his colors on that book. Just he knows Jamal well.
Mm-hmm.
I also, for people who are interested in people of color in comic books, on HBO Max, they just had the documentary for Milestone Comics drop today.
Yes.
He does his own colors.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Well, he does
That
know
would
him
explain
very
a lot.
well.
So Milestone is one of those things where I think it was 10 years too early.
Mm.
And Joseph Illidge, if you don't follow him on Twitter, great follow, who talks about comics and just he was one of the main editors of Milestone when it came around. And Reginald Hudland was there, Dennis Cowan.
Yep.
So many great people, and the documentary is just so I've watched a couple of documentaries. There was one on oh god, the person who created Static. Why am I blanking on his name right now? He passed away.
Is it like Duff something?
Dwayne McDuffie.
Yeah.
Dwayne McDuffie, he had a documentary on Justice League Doom animated movie, which he had worked on before he passed. Pretty much the great creator of that universe with his buddies. And he had a very sad ending. His whole family had problems health-wise, and he passed away at a very young age. And kind of wonder what would have happened. But he also famously had written a letter to Marvel because they kept having African Americans on skateboards. He's like, so what do you want me to write? Negro on a skateboard, part 3. That was his treatment letter to them on a. So there's a lot to learn about it and the downfall of that imprint. Also, he got into a huge fight with editorial there because he wanted a representation of safe sex on one of the covers of having condoms and static. And
I have that cover.
that was a huge feud he got into with editorial that he pushed harder than maybe he should have. And it kind of soured everything between them and might have doomed the label.
They just dropped a compendium too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
I've been reading some of the newer Milestone stuff, and Blood Syndicate so far has been pretty damn good.
Haven't checked that out.
That one in Static, I've pretty much been staying with. Hardware, not so much, but Icon and Rocket, I've always loved the character of Rocket. She might have been one of the first queer characters represented in actual comics during that time also. But there's a lot to check out. Bitterroot's a great title. They just won an Eisner recently, and weirdly, Jen has had lunch with David F. Walker because they go to the same comic store, and she bought him waffles. They have a food truck out behind the store that has gourmet waffles.
Wow.
They're gorgeous.
Can't beat that.
Southern Bastards was good. I've not many books that I felt dirty reading afterward. And TKO Studios had a MMA title by Steve Orlando and Philip Kennedy Johnson about a MMA fighter whose father got killed by basically a gay bashing other MMA fighter during a match. And it ruined the guy's life. God, I can't remember the name of it. But it's Steve Orlando and Philip Kennedy Johnson. You can look it up. I had Steve Orlando on the show once, and he talked about it, and I cannot remember the name of it to save my life, and I feel bad because it's been 2 years.
I might have to follow up with you on that one if I can't find it on PK.
Yeah, 100%. But it was an OGN. It was a thick boy.
Every time I go on TKO, I want all the things, so I try to just go once in a while.
They pick some great artists for TKO.
They really do.
Yeah.
Very much so, and I like their distribution. That it's more direct is their main thing. And they sent me a shitload of free stuff for ordering from them. I got stickers, pins, free little ash cans.
Nice.
It was called Kill a Man. It was called Kill a Man.
I can remember that.
Anika, have you thought of your title?
I did, but now that you said Fire Sector, I'm upset that I didn't think of that one first, because that's like one of my favorites.
I mean, so Jerner Mullane, and again, the art is fucking fantastic.
Yes, and like he's a Toronto man, so I want to.
Is he?
Yeah, he's from Toronto, and like
Oh.
the funny thing is that before I think it was before Naomi, or maybe even just like when Naomi first started, I had approached him, but I thought he was someone else. So then when he said no, I just like walked away, and then I haven't seen him since.
Oh man.
Because every single time I go to these conventions, I don't see him. So now I'm hoping that he's going to be at Fan Expo in
You
August.
gotta find them.
Yeah,
I
you
lived in
definitely have
Toronto
to.
for a minute.
A minute? With how long?
I was in St. Clair West. I was engaged to someone there.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
jeez.
bad story. Got a lot of bad stories. But yeah, I moved up there for a minute and then came back to Florida.
Toronto's too expensive. Nobody wants to. Everybody
Well,
in theory they like it, but it's like once you're here, it's like no, leave.
well, no, not being able to find a job because you're American, which is also
That too.
fantastic.
People here find it difficult to get a job. Anyways, so the one that I choose, I don't know if much people know about it, but I think it was one of my first indie comics that I got into, and that is Genius. It's
Genius is great. Mark
Yes.
Bernardin.
Yes, and Adam Freeman, I believe.
Yes.
Yes. So volume 1 and 2 of that.
God, I can't believe I knew that right off the top of my head. But Mark Bernardin, I used to watch the Kevin
Sure.
Smith podcast, and he was on it quite a bit. The other book, it's Nita Hawes. It's the Saturday Evening Post cover. The one where she's painting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I love that she's looking at the reference piece while she's painting. Again, like go look up those Saturday Evening Post covers because I love a good homage cover, and I have one actually of Zatanna by an artist that was done of Saturday Evening Post, and Zatanna is one of my weird favorite characters that nobody likes, but I love.
Who does not like her?
There's a lot of people that don't like Zatanna because
No.
they consider her useless.
She was my second ever cosplay, and like it's because of her is why I continued to cosplay, because when I cosplayed America Chavez first, before anybody knew her because of this damn movie that just came out, nobody gave me attention. They're like, are you supposed to be the female Captain America? I'm like, no. So when I cosplayed Zatanna, everybody came up to me and everybody wanted my picture. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's so good.
Which is weird because when I went to one of my first or second years going to San Diego Comic-Con, there was a million America Chavez cosplayers, but all of them were Mexican. But it makes sense. Like,
yeah.
But it was just like 30 of them, and then it was like Khaleesi, America Chavez, Khaleesi. Because that was before everybody turned on Game of Thrones.
Up here, nobody knew her. And it's only because of Instagram that I got any attention, because obviously got my American people who know these characters. People don't give me the time of day up here. They really don't.
I mean, to be fair, you could live in the sweatland of America like I do in Florida.
Sweatland.
What do you mean? Florida's a nice place. In theory.
Nah.
In theory.
I mean, okay, you went to Disney. That's like its whole other like little continent there. Like
I know. Like Orlando is just
Its
a
own
place of its
thing.
own.
So where Gambit and I live, the shuttle takes off, my house rattles. We live that close. Like it's within 7.5 miles of my house.
Wow.
So every time that motherfucker goes off or a Tesla shoots up a rocket, my house shakes.
Oh
And
no.
fucking Elon Musk needs to stop shooting shit off at 2 in the goddamn morning. No, like, seriously, I don't need my cat jumping on me and start fucking clawing me because that asshole can't launch at a normal time. Like, I got a like almost 11-year-old cat. He's an asshole.
Oh.
He legit is. Like, he's not in here right now because he'd probably be clawing my leg right now because he knows I'm talking about him. But, little fact, my cat hated every girl I've brought home except for one.
Oh.
One of them, she'd put her purse down on my table. He would literally go the long way around, knock her purse off the table, go upstairs, do a lap around, come back, wait for her to put it back up, and knock it down again. And she
Really
swears
bad.
at one point she slept over and he sat at the edge of the door staring at her all night.
Oh my goodness.
He's a little tuxedo cat named Bradford.
Oh. Sounds adorable.
He's a menace. He really is. He's getting older and getting crankier just like his old man. That being me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Volume 2 coming out in 2 or 3 weeks. Killadelphia continues to truck on, and again, it's getting to a weird end game. I'm not sure where it's going. You'll catch up, Azores, like when's the next new trade comes out, because
I'm going to jump into the singles.
well, the funny thing, the first issue of the new run, Jen and I both like tagged Jason. We're like, why did you have to go so hard in this issue? Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Because it was the most hyper violent issue I've read of the series.
Because I have all the issues, so I'm going to sit down with those probably tonight. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it now.
It's really good. I'm not going to say this is probably Rodney's best writing, but it's the most action filled. Where he was like, all right, Jason, you want to do all this shit?
Have at it.
Yeah, have at it. I'm going Marvel method now. I gotta ask you, Anika, what did you think of America in Doctor Strange? Okay.
I didn't. Okay, it's not that I didn't like her. I just feel like
didn't give her enough to do.
I'm used to her being a badass, and she was not a badass in that movie.
I had the weird thing where like I needed her to have more agency.
Yeah,
if
like
that makes sense.
She was nothing like her comic book character.
Maybe in the second thing she appears in, she'll be more confident.
Hopefully.
I don't know. I had a lot of problems with that movie, just with Scarlet Witch, just how she went from zero to fucking evil real fast. Actually, most of this Marvel Phase 4, I guess 5. I don't even 4. I've been iffy about. Like Eternals had some good moments. Shang-Chi was fun.
Yeah.
This one, what's the next one coming out? It's
Black Panther.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like I just saw the trailer.
Which, for fuck's sake, that is the best trailer I've seen in a long time. Like, you have that version of Bob Marley go into Kendrick's All Right.
Yeah.
And Angela Bassett is the focus of your fucking trailer. And Namor's got love handles.
Representation of all kinds.
Yes. But I feel good for that Namor actor because he has been cast as like Cholo number 1, Cholo number 2 in every fucking movie he's been in.
Oh no.
Because he was in Narcos, huh?
Yeah. Like he's always been Latino badass number 1, Latino badass number Carlos. If you go through his IMDb, like he is typecast as fuck. So like I'm happy for him getting this. I don't give a fuck that he's got love handles. Listen, he's been on that good on Underneath the Water. Like,
yeah, and it's realistic. It's realistic.
So I'll be right back here.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that they're doing something different. And again, Angela Bassett's such a good actress. Like, for fuck's sake, like, give her more to do.
She's so graceful, and she's like, she's old, but she doesn't look it.
That part in the trailer where she's like, my family is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was moving.
And they start going to the Kendrick All Right. And I'm like, is this really a mashup? Like, do I have to download this right now? Because I'm loving every moment of this.
Seriously, yes. We need this.
Hey, you all. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to head out.
Yeah, no. It's we're at that time.
Okay.
Thank you for coming on, and make sure to follow Azores on Instagram and go check out his comic stuff. He's always got good stuff posting, and hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Most definitely. Thanks for the invite. Had a great time. I'll catch you all later.
Okay, thank you, man. Bye.
Peace.
So I have a theory about DC now. If they're not going to do Jon Stewart Green Lantern, do Sojourner Malane.
Yes. Let's start a Twitter campaign.
So I would either her or Jessica Cruz. One of the
Yes.
two. But I think Sojourner, because you can do her so far out of the DC universe, she's her own fucking thing. And that is awesome to me. And I had an actress in mind for her, and I just...
When I see her, I kind of get Janelle Monáe vibes.
Yes!
Oh, yeah.
100%. Because of the hair.
Yes. The hair
Janelle
and
Monáe...
also like that they're both on the rainbow letters.
Janelle
both, like,
Monáe
part
was
of the
actually someone I
LGBT.
thought about for Nita Hawes as well.
Yes, I can see that
Oh
too.
yeah, she could do that.
The head wrap.
Yes. Well, I mean, either that or get oh my god, what is her name? The one who turned Andre 3000 out and turned him vegan. Oh my god,
Is it
Erykah Badu.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's too old for that though.
Probably.
She's got the good vibes though.
Yeah, she does.
She's very cosmic. Yeah, because I really think with Sojourner Malane, even if it's just like an HBO Max series, you could do so much with that character outside the DC universe and not have to fuck with if it's the Snyderverse or whatever the fuck verse.
Yeah.
And I would dig it because I think it's a character who's very unmined. Even so, like the Naomi series pisses me off to no end.
I think I've only watched one episode of it.
Like, how do you mishandle it?
Like,
and I feel like
the
they
comic
mishandled it.
series or the TV series?
The TV series. Like, I don't think it should have been on regular TV.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. It's sanitized.
And also, like, you lose out on the vibrancy of Jamal Campbell, which is a whole other fucking... No, like, his art is so
Naomi.
popping... Yeah, like, it pops off the page so much. Like, I don't know. There's something off about it, and I can't put my fucking finger on it.
I just know I couldn't.
First of all,
going through
the
it.
girl in the show, she wasn't thick enough. Like Naomi, she's not thick, but
No, but you
like
got a
she's
point.
not like this either.
Right.
She's like slim, thick, or whatever.
I'll be right back. You guys vamp.
And that was also my problem with the America Chavez. She's like this too.
Yeah.
America's supposed to have body yada yada.
Right. And it's not like there aren't actresses like that looking for work.
Yes.
Just yeah.
And like, where was the curly hair at? America has curly hair.
Right. You got a point. But yeah, I even DVR'd Naomi so that I could get rid of the extra commercials. And I still couldn't get through it. And that made me sad.
I think 1 or 2 episodes is as far as I got.
That's exactly where I got. Literally.
Like, as I'm watching it, I'm just picking out everything, like all the problems. I'm like, why does this man look like he's about to snort me up? Like, and his eyes are like looking 2 different directions. I'm like, which eye am I looking into? Why are they so far set?
So I have a dumb, like, America Chavez pick that I would have probably had. And it's so dumb that it probably would never work. Olivia Rodrigo. She's not thick enough, though, but she's...
Olivia.
She's cute, yeah.
Also, the Jessica Ortega girl who was in the newest Scream, where she's kind of youngish, but she's got, like, a very, very fucking sassy attitude.
You know who would have been perfect? Obviously, she's too old now, but America Ferrera when she was younger.
Yes.
Yes. Perfect.
I thought you were gonna say the girl from Girl Fight and the Fast and the Furious.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Michelle Rodriguez. I was just like, that's a little too butch.
No. America Ferrera. The name's right there.
Right, it's right there waiting.
Yeah.
She could play one of America's moms.
Yes. I'm gonna see if there's a fan cast of Sojourner Mullane. I'm always curious about the shit because someone might think of a name I don't.
Even I think, as you said, Jessica Cruz could be a good character to.
Jessica Cruz, at least there's enough actresses. Oh.
Because she's a fan favorite, as well as she deals with relatable problems like her anxiety.
Yes.
She's a visible minority. She's female. She's checking all the boxes.
Let's go to images. Janae Godlock was a fan casting for Sojourner Mullane.
Who's that?
I have never heard of her before. She played Simone Biles in the Simone Biles story.
Oh, is that a Lifetime movie?
I was going to say, I didn't even know there was that movie.
I didn't know either. This is new to me.
Let's see.
Jessica Cruz fan casting. Let's see. These always, I'm always interested by them because they're usually fucking terrible.
Kind of like how they casted Alexandra Shipp as Storm.
So Mohawk Storm, she looked good. It worked for me.
She's too light.
Oh, I found my Jessica Cruz already. I'm 100% sure of this, and probably everybody will hate it. Rosa Salazar, who played Alita Battle Angel. Because she can play damaged. She's...
Let me look this. Okay.
Eliza Gonzalez, who
Okay, I can see that. That's a good one.
Christian Serratos. I know her from somewhere. I don't know where. Just not Camila or whatever from whatever that singer is that was in Fifth Harmony.
Caballero.
Yes. No. Please no.
Tomatoes.
Christian Serratos. Oh, she was in Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Oh, she must have been really young.
Yeah, I think she might have been the baby.
Oh,
that would make sense.
Sophia Carson, I don't know who that is. Boyd Holbrook is Guy Gardner. Oh boy. Welcome to fan casting.
Hey, I don't play fantasy sports, but I'll fan cast all day, every day.
So, this is gonna sound weird, but you know what? I think I know who I'd be kind of interested in being Sojourner, and it's a weird one. Beyonce's sister,
Solange.
Solange,
I could see that.
I started thinking I want a little bit of thick thighs. I want some thickness, but I also want a little bit of that vegan attitude. I think Solange would be good.
But then who would you cast as Marth and Season? However you pronounce it. Her two different love interests.
Oof. I'm trying to
All I know is that the dude has to actually have dreads, because I'm not about that life with the fake wigs. They always look so bad.
What if it's that
dreadlock-
dude who played in Walking Dead who played Ezekiel? Carrie Payton?
Let me look up.
It's just Idris Elba. Everybody's Idris Elba.
I don't even like Idris Elba like that. He just doesn't do it for me.
His Hot Ones episode is still like my favorite because of every meme that came out of him choking on the wings.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, there was like when you first lick your girl's butthole, and they choking. Like there were so many memes of that.
I feel like the calmest Hot Ones episode was Queen Latifah. She's just so calm.
The Pusha T one was hysterical. We're like, they're gonna come for you. It's like, I don't give a fuck if they come for me. I ate an 8. That's good enough. Yeah, Queen Latifah, I don't see getting like too agitated during it.
She's the type of person I want to grow up to be like. She's just so calm and collected.
See, I feel that way about Angela Bassett, where I just don't think anything would move her.
That too.
Was she the one who played Tina Turner in the What's Love Got to Do with It?
Yeah,
Yes.
Angela Bassett was. To the point where you forgot she wasn't her for a while.
And then her in Waiting to Exhale.
Oh
my gosh, yeah.
So that part in What's Love Got to Do with It, where Ike goes and brings her flowers and saying, "I'm sorry, baby." I've never not wanted to keep punching that dude forever. Especially coming from a home where my mom was beaten. Like, and seeing that shit play out, like, bro, like, and Angela, even Tina Turner back then, like, Tina Turner was just Beyonce before Beyonce. Like, she was just fierceness incarnate. Also in Thunderdome. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. Oh God, I'm going down a weird, dark part of my history. Oh my, Sheena's still here. Why aren't you asleep, Sheena? Kick
Damn, Sheena, I thought you fell asleep or something. I didn't hear you from time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she didn't want to come on the show because she's like, I got to be up in the morning.
This girl. I guess she's a
is.
supporter. No matter how much I bug her.
Andrew was like, fuck this, I'm out.
Damn,
Those kids
Andrew.
are going to wake up soon. My bad, I was trying. Oh, we love you, Sheena. The best part is I know at like some point, Read Across the Stars is gonna watch this. She's like, "What the fuck happened with your show? I thought you were gonna keep this shit in order." And I was like, "I thrive on chaos. That's what I do."
I go off track so often.
I also dare anybody to go back and watch the drinking show from Christmas and Thanksgiving 2 years ago.
I was with you for that. Yeah, I was in the audience for that.
Jen, Mars, Gambit, myself, D Comic Queen, and my friend Sid.
That was a good time.
We ended up playing Fuck, Marry, Kill at one point with fictional characters. Woo. Not good. Not good at all.
Man.
Oh, Sheena's got fucking problems.
Sounds like a lit time. Not you, Sheena. I meant the drinking, not the.
Well, Jen was trying to explain how she'd fuck Swamp Thing. Well, at least he still had a vacation.
Where'd that thing go? No. The real thing is Venom. What that mouth?
What that tongue do?
Yeah, what that tongue do?
It's a game changer.
Tara's probably like, "Why did I come on this show?"
No, I was thinking way different things. I meant it when I said it was a game changer, damn it.
Oh my God.
That's all I'm saying.
Not only does he have the nice tongue, he's got the hands to match, the fingers to match.
I just knocked my phone on the floor. Oh God.
There was this girl, Peach, that I knew back in the day, and she was playing the Venom Spider-Man game. She was like, "Man, that tongue." I was like, "Yeah, crazy, right?" Not realizing in my head what she was talking about. And she's like, "Are you fucking stupid, or you not understand?" I was like, "Oh, like you mean
that."
oh. Sorry, my nerd brain took over before my gutter brain."
They fight sometimes.
And I was just like, "So you like that, right?" And then I got shot down like immediately, and then that was the end of that. Now I'm like hearing like clicking in the background. I'm just like, is she playing with her figures, like fighting now?
Yeah, what are you doing? Too funny.
Oh my God.
Now I want a Venom figure.
It's almost midnight. It's gone too long. It's officially gone too long. Oh, Canada.
Oh my God.
The only thing that sucked longer than Venom is the Maple Leafs.
Oh my God, no, it's true. I don't understand. I don't understand how it's like the biggest franchise when they haven't won since the 60s.
I made a joke. Okay, so one of the last times I went to see my fiance after we broke up, I was staying at on Queen Street. I think it was the Hilton that was right next to Maple Leaf Garden at the time.
Yeah.
There were people leaving the game upset, and they're like, "Oh, Maple Leafs, eh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, the only thing that's more disappointing is my sex life." They were just like laughing, and I was like, "Nah, it's not funny, man." I went and saw American Beauty because I felt like being kicked in the balls harder.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're trying to make things work. Oh,
Nothing's worse than
the only thing more
Toronto teams.
disappointing than me were Maple Leafs fans leaving the Garden.
What
And
a
then
shame.
Sky Dome, the Toronto Air Canada Center open,
Yeah.
home of Drake.
Yeah, it's Jurassic Park.
Or is it Jurassic Park?
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
By the way, I love seeing him get in trouble on Instagram.
For flying from Toronto to Hamilton.
No, worse.
I didn't hear about this.
He was on a cruise and took random pictures of a girl sitting across from him, trying to airdrop her pictures of her. And people were like, "Dude, that's creepy as fuck that you're taking pictures of this girl. Like, she doesn't know you're doing this."
Yeah.
And this is on the heels of him like dry humping a 17-year-old on stage.
What?
I wonder
Look
if he
it
did
up.
that again this weekend because it was OVO Fest or OVO something.
I'm sure the music was banging. No. I hate Drake. I fucking hate Drake. He's like the Will Smith of rap, except worse.
Oh, ouch.
I hate him. Like, I also hate that like him and J. Cole are hanging out. Like, because J. Cole apparently is playing in fucking Toronto's like basketball league. Like,
Yeah, but I think he
D-League.
quit.
Good. Stop
He did a
embarrassing
few
yourself.
Did a few games and then I think he quit.
Like, as soon as I saw the pictures of Drake hugging him with those weird braids, I was like,
Mhm.
nah, like, get the fuck out of Toronto. It's time to go. Like, Drake's got like the worst braids I've ever seen. Like, they're
It's because his
almost
hair's not long
cornrows.
enough.
They're almost cornrows, but like he still can't like do it.
Yeah, it's
And he's
the
still
struggle
recovering.
braids.
He's still recovering.
He's got no hang time. There's no hang time.
He's still recovering from Pusha T murdering him 5 years ago about his illegitimate kid. Oh, it's true.
Now
like,
his kid's thriving more than him.
Yeah, Pusha T full on like outed him about having that secret kid with the porn star.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Drake was like, yeah, I lost that rap battle. Like, no, I'm good. The first time Pusha T hasn't rapped about cocaine in like 20 years. As white as I am, I love rap way too much. Oh, Sheena. I could do a whole show just dogging on Drake. Anybody wants to go back and watch Degrassi when he was with the crutches?
Hey, I like Degrassi. I've seen every episode. I'm a true Canadian kid that way.
Oh no, like I watched it when I lived in New York. Like we used to get Degrassi up there, and it was all the way with Stephanie K. Way back when the early episodes. Degrassi was always like we're not quite General Hospital, but we're trying. And 90210 didn't exist at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
Although I do remember there was a comedy show that did the spoof that was like Latino 90210. It was 90218. It's like, hey, Dillon!
I didn't see that one.
I didn't see that one either.
Sorry, dumb trivia. It might have been Mad TV, I think. Or
sounds like it should be.
It probably was. Hey, like, welcome to dumb trivia time of the night. Which this show became exactly what Adriana was like, hey, we're having like almost 7 people on. Like, I need you to get your shit in order. Didn't happen. Because everyone called out.
I don't mind this.
Yeah, like
fun.
Jen and I always joke that we thrive on chaos.
Yep.
Also, fun fact, the first time Rodney Barnes was on, he ate an edible before he came on and then ripped on one of our guests for an hour and a half.
I can witness that.
Full on made fun of this dude for an hour and a half. And Andrew Comic Book Campaign has not come back on the show in 2 years. And Rodney, every time he's on, is like, hey, how's Andrew doing? I was like, he's got PTSD from the last time you were on. Like, he's a social worker in Chicago, and Rodney started going off on his career.
Oh,
He's like, they let kids around you? And he's...
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, like I lost control of the show. It was my first interview I've ever done, and I was just like,
oh my goodness.
What
and
do
you
I
continue
do?
to do more? I'd be scared after that.
He stopped taking edibles. I've also had to deal with Jen and Gambit both on edibles in the same episode.
I mean, that sounds like a good time.
It does.
So like picture like having like a field of goats and all of them are going different directions and you're the one sober person, even though you're drinking, trying to wrangle them back in.
In that moment, you become a goat. Like, all right, I'm a Capricorn now.
But I'm an Aquarius. Like,
well, I'm a Capricorn, so
my sister was. I'm a January 31st guy.
Oh, you're like, you just missed it by like a week.
So, like, weirdly, my sister was born January 3rd. Our birthdays fall on the same day of the week every year.
Yeah, like just weeks apart.
Yeah, exactly 4 weeks apart.
So weird, and we're 4 years apart too.
Oh, wow.
4 weeks and 4 years.
And I was like, I remember one time going, so did you and Dad just like banging the same like part of the year, or like nah? Didn't get an answer, weirdly. A little too upfront. Weird how that works.
It's funny how that works, yeah.
March, April.
So, did you guys like, Was it And the rest of the time, nah. Like, what are we doing? Or was it just election years? Like, what were we doing? Hey, it's the bicentennial. Time to fucking get a kid.
Oh my gosh.
Both my parents are dead, so I have no way of them coming back on me about this shit. My mom would be horrified that I have a YouTube channel.
Dang.
Like, horrified. So thank you everybody for watching.
Do we even have anybody in the chat still?
It's just Sheena. We apparently have 4 viewers. I don't know who.
If you're still there, say hi. Everybody say hey.
Everybody in the house say ho.
Oh.
Sheena. It's just Sheena. She's got 4 burner accounts going. By the way, I love that the Miss Marvel actress has a Reddit burner account that she's using. Trashing everybody.
Before us.
Oh, Greg's here.
There you go.
But yeah, the Miss Marvel actress came forward that she has a burner account on Reddit.
That's funny.
Oh God. I'm not even drunk. This is terrible. Oh, I'm at a lot. Oh, sad. It's not sad. Real quick before we go, movie or TV show you think people should watch? And I'm not going to say The Wire because I've already said that enough.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be related to the book, right?
No.
I just heard about The Resort and haven't watched it yet. And anything with William Jackson Harper in it, I'm interested to find out more about.
I've never heard of that.
Me neither.
It just started this week, I think, and they're going to drop 1 episode at a time. So I don't know whether to wait and let them build up or jump in, but I'm curious about that.
Huh.
Because he was the one that played Chidi on The Good Place.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I have to finish The Good Place, but it was good when I watched it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Sheena. It's because I watched it and I told her and then she's binge watching it now. It's a good show.
It is.
It's hilarious. Watching that show makes you believe like you cannot judge a book by its cover because some of the freakiest people you would never know.
So the girl I'm dating recommended watching that show You.
Oh, I haven't. I think I've started watching season 1, but haven't finished.
She
I'm
said
not caught up, but it's
creepy as fuck.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, I guess that's my wheelhouse. Creepy as fuck. Okay, like,
but it's interesting, creepy.
Yeah. I know something I'm looking forward to watching.
Apparently, when they were filming You, like they had to tell a guy who played like the main creepy dude to like stop being so creepy. like I guess there were scenes where he had to like.
Did he go method?
He had to pleasure himself, and then they're telling him like
don't be
lay
so
off a little bit
it.
because it's too creepy.
You're being too enthusiastic. Can you dial it down like 20% and have uninterested lover vibe? All right.
On that note.
Terrible.
I'm looking forward to watching that new Predator movie, The Prey. Prey
that does look
on Hulu next week.
I just saw the trailer for that today.
With the hunting Native Americans. It's a prequel to to Predator.
I feel like I vaguely remember hearing about that.
Why do I think that behind?
And it's not about R. Kelly, so it's a different kind of Predator.
Oh my gosh. That docuseries.
Boy.
That shook me hard.
Some people couldn't watch the whole thing because It was very traumatizing.
It was.
I mean, the
very
shit,
triggering.
just even the stories about him and Aaliyah were like,
yeah.
Oh yeah,
fucking
I still remember.
crazy. And I remembered
Yeah.
like that weird thing that her dad was completely 100% cool with. There is a docuseries on Shudder called Cursed Films.
Oh, I've heard about that. I want to see it. Is it any good?
And they
me
had a
look that
third
up.
season, and one of the episodes was about Wizard of Oz. And if you haven't heard about the weird shit that went on behind the scenes of Wizard of Oz, where apparently like there's a cut of the movie where people swear there is a munchkin who hung himself in the background. Also, the person who played the Tin Man originally, the aluminum paint gave him cancer.
Whoa.
The Wicked Witch of the West, the motor on the back of the broom that was supposed to create like the fire, she burned herself horribly with it. There is a season where they talk about The Crow and everything that went on during that movie. Poltergeist and everything that went on with that. The Exorcist.
Oh, I didn't know about The Exorcist.
It is 3 seasons right now. There's also on Netflix a show called The Movies That Made Us.
I haven't seen that either.
It's by the same people who made The Toys That Made Us. And they have like horror movies and Ghostbusters and all kinds of other shit. Yes, Wizard of Oz, everything is fucking wild as fuck. Especially when Judy Garland was drunk on a talk show and talked about dwarf orgies. And then pissed them off they were going to sue her for libel.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yes. Also, something they don't talk about enough, there was a book called Femme Fatale. I think it was Femme Fatale. I can't remember. It was a Ed Brubaker book about Hollywood. Fatale.
Mm-hmm.
And there were stories in the back of the issues, and there's one about Judy Garland, how on Wizard of Oz they said she was too fat, so they got her hooked on skinny pills, amphetamines.
Yep.
And she was
15.
15. They told her she was too fat for the role, so they got her hooked on amphetamines and basically cracked her out for the rest of her life.
And downers to sleep in between. Yeah.
Yep. Hollywood was a fucking horrible place back then.
It still is.
Yes. Different kinds of horrible, though.
I'd be seeing some conspiracy theories, and I'm wondering, like, if it's valid, like Pizzagate.
Is that still a thing? Pizzagate, like.
I don't even know what that is. What is Pizzagate?
I don't know, but we're not trying to get shut down or have our lives at risk here, so we can't be talking about this in public.
Okay, I'll be asking later.
Pizzagate, Pizza Rat was another thing.
I do remember that.
It's up there with the QAnon shit. Like, it's just
okay. We don't want to mess with that.
No. Also, Rodney Barnes in Volume 3 of Killadelphia had QAnon shaman in it, and Jason Alexander wrote him in, drew him into it. Yeah. There's some good series. And there is a movie I love more than I should. It is called The Guest. It has Dan Stevens in it, who was he's
Downton
completely
Abbey,
ripped.
right?
Yes, he's completely ripped in this fucking movie. He shows up at this family's house claiming to be a friend of their son who died during Afghanistan. And he basically moves in with the family and becomes their like illegitimate son. He's a government science project, basically. Micah Monroe from It Follows is in it. And she's like, something's wrong with this dude. And he goes like full Terminator by the end of it. It has a very John Carpenter synth score to it. I really like it a lot. There's also a movie called The Invitation, which The guy from Prometheus, who was the first guy who got turned, they call him Bobo Tom Hardy. I can't remember the actor's name, but he's in it, and he's invited to his ex-wife's house. They had lost their son during childhood, and randomly she invites him to this dinner party with his new girlfriend, and apparently she's joined a cult. And the whole time he's like, there's something wrong with these people. Everybody's like, you're crazy. The guy who played Kevin on The Office is in it, playing one of the cultists. Great psychological thriller. Again, it's a dumb psychological thriller horror movie, and that is completely my wheelhouse. You're Next is another one I like. If you like badass final girls. And this is like the baddest of the badass final girls, like my top. She's Australian, she's hot, and she's crazy. It hit all three of my check marks in my life. Could she geld me in my sleep? Yes, awesome. That's for me. Uh-oh. I got a text from the girl I'm dating, so uh-oh. Nick.
Do we need to write you a note or
No, it wasn't that kind of text. It was like, I'm sleepy. I was like,
is one of these notes?
Nick is like, I don't know why I'm on this right now. Are you still there, Sheena? Yeah, it's almost like 12:30. I feel like it's time to wrap this up. Play the music. Not get slapped like by Chris Rock or by like Chris Rock.
Please, yeah, no.
No. Will Smith's surprised that Chris Rock's still talking about him getting slapped. Weird. You slap a comedian, like he's not.
I didn't even watch the whole apology video. It was long.
I didn't need to. All I know is if you want to see a good Jada Pinkett movie, Demon Knight with Billy Zane.
Ooh.
That's the least I'll say about. Okay, I have a really weird question because you were talking about light skin. Sorry.
What just happened? I know. What just happened?
Sorry, it just crossed my head. Zoe Kravitz in the Batman.
Yeah.
Were there parts where she looked dark skinned and light skinned in separate parts of that movie? No, it's separate parts of the movie, like different
lighting?
Scenes.
Well, I mean, the movie was very dark. So
there was parts of it. There's parts in the club where she looks super light skinned.
That's just the lighting.
And then there were parts where she looks super dark skinned.
It's probably just.
And then I went into the whole: is Doja Cat the same as? My brain goes weird places.
That was so not where I thought you were going.
I started thinking of Doja Cat because sometimes I've seen her looking super light skinned, and other times I've seen her looking super dark skinned.
It's got to be lighting. It all depends on what colors they throw on you.
The weather, like
oh yeah.
It was just because of Zendaya when you're like she's too light skinned. I was like,
it just popped right back up on a flag.
Yeah, I was like, Zoe Kravitz was light skinned and dark skinned in the same movie, and then I was like, Doja Cat. I've seen her at award shows like a week apart, and I've seen her look dark, and I've seen her look light.
Contour
makeup, lack of sun.
My friend Devante was like, well, Doja Cat's just Doja Cat. You can't put her into a category. And I was like,
it's my jinx night.
I was like, we're really going with that that answer? He goes, yeah, Doja Cat is Doja Cat.
It is what it is.
Like, he's my spiritual advisor at work. And I was just like, that's your answer. He goes, yeah. He says little. And yes. By the way, Devante, if you're watching, shout out. Thank you for shitty advice.
That's how you treat your spiritual advisor.
I was going to say, is that any way to treat a spiritual advisor?
Well, I had a boss at work because he cut out of work. He skipped to go to the Super Bowl because his buddy was playing, and he was like, "Do you know
That's a
where he
good
is?"
reason.
I was like, "I don't know. He's my spiritual advisor. I don't have answers for where he's at." And my boss turned around and goes, "What the fuck did you just say?" I was like, he's my spiritual sensei." He goes, "I'm done talking to you. I'm out. I'm done." I was like, "Thank you."
Whatever it took.
Literally, I was just like, I don't know what to say at this point. You're asking me questions I don't have answers to. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I went off on a tangent. And
Honey,
it's
it's
the
your
theme of
channel.
this.
You can go anywhere you want.
I've been getting feedback from some of my coworkers on the channel. So
Okay.
this was my dial it back episode. It did not go well.
I want to see a full dialed up episode.
I think that's going to be our new hobby, Anika.
Get all the neurodivergent people in one spot and just let loose.
So when Sheena was on with Jen and I think that one was starting to get there because you kept picking at Sheena.
It was so fun though.
It is. Sheena's great. Sheena's lovely.
Sheena, I'm surprised you're behaving yourself today.
She's
Is
probably
it because
half
I'm
asleep.
behaving? No, she's
Although
there. She's commenting.
No, she's there.
Oh yeah, I just saw she wrote LOL, Dan. Oh. Listen, I don't know what to think about Doja Cat. I'm confused. Every video she looks different. I don't know. Like, anybody help me? Like, Doja Cat, I know you got
She's
mad
giving
and started...
many different faces.
Doja Cat, I know you have a like hate thing with the kid, the 17-year-old from Stranger Things, because he outed you because of your messaging him to get a hold of the guy who played Eddie Munson.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Which again, you're messaging a 17-year-old. I mean, yeah. I'm reeling it.
Oh,
I don't believe
baby.
you. I don't believe you, Sheena. I do not. And I'll use this as my platform to say I thought Thor: Love and Thunder was okay. Tessa Thompson for
valid.
life, though.
Yes.
Love
She's
Tessa.
she's my king, my queen, my everything.
Her licking that sword
I
was
haven't
the
seen
hottest thing I've fucking seen. And again, in Creed, power performance, playing his significant other, and the fact that she has a disability. And then part two, the child being born with a disability. Yes, she can get it.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yes. She is just...
I'm going to try re-watching Westworld from the beginning just for her.
I'm laughing at what Sheena just said.
Listen, Tandy Newton back in the day was like...
Yes.
Yeah.
But now she's kind of... But in the 90s, early 2000s?
Yes. Oh my God. Oh. Oh God, like even like I just saw that video with Ciara, like
I didn't see her in the music.
I saw the recent music
It's
video she put
Bounce or
out, and I was like,
something.
2 kids, she still got it. Like, yeah.
Well, 3 kids, isn't it?
Is
3
it 3?
kids. 3
Oh, that's
kids.
right. She had the one before.
1 for Future and then 2
Yeah.
for Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's still like...
It's that part where she was a virgin in the middle that's confusing.
Wait, what?
She proclaimed herself a virgin before Russell.
I mean, I haven't had sex long enough that I can call myself a born-again virgin, but fuck it, like...
I guess that's what she was going for.
I'm going to claim it now.
I mean, it's just a social construct anyways, so...
Right.
Whatever.
Why are we putting titles on shit?
That's what I want to know. Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna be in so much trouble. How do we stop him? Where's the plug?
I keep trying to pull the plug and it's not working. This is what happens when I get people I never talked to. Like, I legitimately think like Anika and I pass like a message once a month. Maybe.
Probably.
Oh.
However, y'all be watching all my stories, so you basically know me. You're part of my daily life.
Weirdly, like, I don't pay attention who looks at my stories. Like,
I don't either.
I do know an ex of mine made a TikTok video about me last week.
Oh, how nice.
Oh yeah, she fucking shit talked me into oblivion. Didn't say my name, but people at work
But
were
did she
very
get
happy.
views though?
People at work were very happy to let me know she was talking about me.
That's so kind.
Yeah.
She knows.
At least she stopped getting my Gambit to tattoo my favorite comics on her.
Oh, she got him to tat.
After we broke up, 3 of my favorite comic books she got tattooed on her that I shared with her when we were together. So, for just knowledge, 2 of us have a nail biter and low tattoo in this whole fucking state, probably, because there's maybe 1,000 people that bought that book. Yes, Sheena. Like,
I have a copy of it. The Rick Remender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But within a 10-mile radius of each other, like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's exactly right, Sheena.
We're not even going to waste such good things on her. She needs something worse. Curdled milk. Curdled yogurt. Moldy yogurt. Yeah.
Nah, like, honestly, like, this is as far as I will comment on it because, like, a response just is not worth my time. No response is better than a response. I'm not feeding on the bait, although I guess I fed on the bait here because, well, I know she still watches that shit, so I see you. Actually, people see you and tell me. So that was the dark part of the show.
Check.
Yeah, okay, so I'm really going to end it this time. In many ways.
Stop, Dan.
No, like, stop the conversation, stop the show, not
I know, no, just saying.
Thank you, Sheena. Thank you, Greg, and everybody else who contributed in this chat. Mastodon, also Azor, thank you for coming on. Appreciate hanging out with you because it's the first time we actually talked. And everyone else, Anika, where can they find you anywhere in the future?
Instagram, Fresh Princess 92.
With a 3 is the E.
With the 3 is the E. Is there? But there's another E. The first E. The first E is
the first E. You can also find her torturing Sheena somewhere on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Inja's going to catch some shit at some point just because.
Oh, all the time. Not as much as Sheena, but she definitely catches some.
So, like, I love when Inja's game raging, especially when she was playing Elden Ring. Because I was like, are you sucking again? She's like, listen, don't play with me. Like, I'm not. And
her little accent is just so cute.
I love watching the videos where she's just like rocking back and forth on her bed. I'm just like,
yeah.
I'm just laughing, and I was like, that's very cute. I was like, hey, Inja, do you notice that you're like rocking back and forth? And she's like, I'm nervous. I was like, yeah, I can tell. Like, you're just, but she's so cute doing it. It's hard to like dog on her about it.
And then her little smile and her little glasses when she wears them.
I would just like you to answer messages before 2 weeks.
Answer your messages, homegirl.
Tara, where can they find you?
Well, on Twitter, you can find me at I can't keep a straight face at Film Noir Girl, like it's wherever it is down here on the screen. And on Instagram,
I'll have a description later once I sober up.
yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Discord. I'm on the NPod. I write for the gww.com when I get a chance. So I'm around.
I just did celluloid scotch with Carlito last night talking 80s movies. We'll be back next month doing something. I don't know what the fuck we're doing yet. Because God forbid that takes planning. Swamp Thing, we're doing volume 3 of Saga of the Swamp Thing. I don't know who's going to show up because last time nobody showed up except for Gambit, Jen, and I. Moonlit was at Rob Zombie, and everybody else kind of bailed. Oh yeah, Gambit's pick for next month because he couldn't be on the show, so he told me anyway, is Wanted by Mark Miller and J.G. Jones. I remember hating the movie. I don't remember so much about the book because I remember hating the movie more than the book. And some point in time, the Dune Over is going to come back. I don't know when. It's a book that everybody hates, the next volume. So it has a 1,000-year time jump, which is always a good sign. Other than that, you can find me on Instagram posting stupid, dirty fucking stories with children's characters. Today was Big Bird and the other Sesame Street characters wanting to run a train on your mom.
Yeah, I saw that.
Big Bird was last. That's a hell of a last one to go. Although there's a part of me that's like Bert and Ernie swapping. Oh, hey, Bert, go ahead. Oh, God, Ernie, did you just go? And Oscar complaining the whole time after.
Oh, no.
I wonder if he just cut a hole in his garbage can.
Snuffleupagus.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, no. Join us in Christmas time for How the Grinch Got His Groove Back. It's the sequel no one knew about. When his hard-on grew 2 sizes too big.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Hey, Kool-Aid. I need to sleep. Oh, I can't wait to see. Thank God they don't show the thumbs down anymore, because I'm sure it would just be like. He talked about children's characters doing sexual acts. I can't do this anymore.
They don't have a thumbs down anymore?
Not that I can see.
I don't know the purpose of a thumbs down anyways. So
they were
dumb.
It's so people who don't like you or people who
if you don't like me, step off. Nobody's forcing you to watch.
So one guy I forgave because I was having an affair with his wife. So
we just getting all the tea today.
Right? Wait, where's my money?
Oh yeah, there's a fun episode of Book Club with Gambit and I where at the end they're like, where can I find you? I was like, well, catching up on my read pile, not getting killed by someone's husband. And Gambit's just like, that's not me.
Just for the record.
That's a dark part of my life. It's been a downfall ever since. If anybody wondered if I'm a good
lot
person,
about Dad today, but I'm happy that I was here.
And me too.
Oh no, there's a whole like segment of book club where like I'm having a breakdown and Gambit and Jen are making fun of me during it. I almost like quit my own channel at one point, and the Comic Queen had to force me to come back.
Oh no.
Oh
A
yeah.
little hiatus.
Oh
here and there
yeah.
is nothing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a fight between Gambit and I when I found out that he tattooed one of my favorite comics on my ex. Like full on blowout at the end.
Mm-mm.
And he's like, well, it hurt her. I was like, well, that's fucking great. Thanks, you. Oh, welcome to the Honest Hour.
The best.
Good night, everybody. No, seriously, it's time to go. Bye.